Welcome, my beloved Sagittarius souls. Whether you're a long-time traveler of this cosmic corner or a brand new seeker drawn here by intuition, synchronicity, or just plain YouTube curiosity, I'm truly honored you found your way to Zodiac Talks Tarot. Around here, we don't just shuffle cards, we translate celestial wisdom into soul-level insight, stirred with a little humor, a lot of truth, and just enough fire to match your wild Sagittarian spirit. Let's dive into what's brewing in your energetic field right now, because oh boy, it's a mix of divine process and a cosmic reality check. Recently, you've been riding high, maybe even galloping full speed into a new endeavor, a passion project, a creative study, or perhaps a new connection that gave you butterflies and brainwaves all at once. You were lit up, motivated, probably waking up before your alarm, which, let's be honest, is rare for you. But then splat! Something happened. Suddenly, that fire doesn't feel so warm anymore. Maybe you're second-guessing yourself. Maybe the thing that once thrilled you now feels like a homework assignment from the universe. What gives? Now listen, even the chosen ones. Yes, I see you have off days. The stars don't sparkle every night, and your planetary ruler, Jupiter, sometimes makes you overcommit to 12 things when you only have time and energy for 4. So if your mojo took a little vacation, don't panic. Don't give up. Instead, pull back, breathe, and trust that sometimes inspiration needs stillness to return. You're not failing, you're processing. And in that pause, that's where the magic happens. That's where the divine realignment begins. You're being invited not to quit but to refine. To ask deeper questions, like, is this truly aligned with my highest self? Or was I just chasing shiny possibilities? Remember, Sag, your fire burns brightest when it's fueled by purpose, not pressure. Alright Sagittarius, let's get something straight. Just because you hit a wall recently doesn't mean the dream is dead. Not even close. It means you're human. And I mean beautifully, messily, brilliantly human. You know, even the most enlightened monks have off days, and yes, even the chosen ones, the divine darlings of the zodiac like yourself, need to press pause sometimes. It's not a failure. It's a spiritual pit stop. You're not giving up, you're recalibrating. You're not falling off track, you're tuning into a deeper GPS, your why. Now, let's talk about the energy swirling around you right now, because, it's loud. There's a lot of interference in your energetic space these days. And I'm not just talking about your Wi-Fi. Though, honestly, Mercury retrograde could be playing games there too. I'm talking about the people who are projecting their own insecurities onto your dreams. You know the type, someone barely holding their own life together but somehow still has an opinion on yours. That kind of noise? It's not guidance. It's static. And Sag, your spirit was never meant to operate on someone else's frequency. So turn the volume down. Protect your energy like it's the last piece of cake in the fridge. You don't owe anyone access just because they showed up hungry. You have to guard your sacred space like it's your Netflix password during family holidays. Firm boundaries, no exceptions. Because what you're cultivating right now is precious. It's delicate. And most importantly, it's yours. And just when you thought your inner fire was flickering out, the universe pulls a fast one. The Empress and the World show up, major arcana with major attitude. These cards don't tiptoe in, they strut. Suddenly, your energy shifts. Ideas that were just seeds in your imagination, they start blooming like they've been soaking in miracle grow. Your creativity is on fire, your online presence might get a boost, and yes, there's a very real chance your bank account is about to look cuter than it has in a while. That's the power of divine alignment. When you get out of your own way and stop listening to the static, the universe starts moving mountains on your behalf. And the best part? The ripple effect doesn't stop there. At home, things start to soften. If you've been feeling emotionally out of sync with a partner or your inner circle, prepare for reconnection. Conversations that once felt like landmines may finally start to feel like safe ground. For those in relationships, shared visions start clicking. It's like your dreams and your partner's dreams finally RSVP'd to the same party. You start noticing you're not just surviving under the same roof, you're actually building something together. You might even catch yourself smiling at the little things, like making dinner together or finally agreeing on what to binge watch, a true miracle, let's be honest. So here's the takeaway, Sagittarius, the storm was never meant to break you. It was meant to clear the air. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're in process. And in this divine process, your spirit is being refined, not erased. Trust the recalibration. Because what's coming next? It's not just brighter. It's built to last. Alright, Sagittarius, let's talk about love. Not the kind that ghosts you after 3 sweet text exchanges, or shows up only when Mercury is in retrograde and the vibes are questionable. I'm talking about that rare, cosmic kind of love, the type that feels predestined, like it was written in the stars long before either of you knew how to spell commitment. And from what I'm seeing in your current energy, this isn't just a flirtation with fate, it's a full-on invitation to something lasting, something sacred. Now, let's get real. The person circling your orbit right now doesn't just see you as a passing phase. They see you as a turning point. It's as if the universe gave them a little jolt to the heart and whispered, that one. Don't let them pass you by. And this isn't wishful thinking or projection, this is someone who is beginning to recognize that you, Sagittarius, aren't just someone to spend time with. You're someone to build with. And yes, that realization is stirring up some serious feelings in them, possibly even plans. For some of you, this means literal travel, flights booked, suitcases packed, and hearts ready to leap across distance, geographical or emotional. And what makes this even more powerful is that they're finally moving past their old hesitations. If in the past they were all "I need space," or "I'm not ready," or played the classic Houdini act the moment things got real, they're now realizing that avoidance isn't a shield. It's a cage. And they're done living inside it. This person is stepping up, meeting you where you've always been, honest, open, and unafraid to love with your whole heart. You've held this connection steady like a fire keeper, and now they're starting to bring their own flame. Of course, you're no stranger to love's complexities. You've given patience. You've offered forgiveness. You've created space for both of you to breathe. You've loved not blindly, but with wisdom, and sometimes that's the harder path. You've had to draw boundaries, have real conversations, and look for substance over sparkle. And when you brought up deep topics, family, future, children, emotional responsibility, it wasn't because you were trying to rush things. It was because you were already invested, and you needed to know if they could hold what you were offering. Now comes the shift the one astrologers wait years to see in a reading. I'm talking about the power trio of the Chariot, the Fool, and the Emperor. These archetypes don't mess around. They speak to momentum, renewal, and divine leadership. This person is no longer just dreaming about a future with you. They're ready to take action. They want to drive this forward not on autopilot, but with purpose. They're willing to take risks, start fresh, and most importantly take responsibility. And here's where we sprinkle in some good old-fashioned chosen one energy. Yes, you heard me. In their eyes, you are the one. Not because you're perfect, but because you've awakened something sacred in them. Something they didn't even know they were looking for. And now that they've found it, they're ready to show up. Like, actually show up with plans, presence, and real-world accountability. This may include meeting families, building a home, or finally having those overdue "what are we" conversations. And if that sounds intimidating, relax. This isn't pressure. This is recognition. There's a world of difference between someone pushing you into a mold and someone pulling you into the light because they finally see your full worth. But let's be real. No great love story comes without its friction. You may still encounter some bumps, old fears, lingering insecurities, or those pesky inner saboteurs that whisper, "Don't trust this." That's normal. That's human. That's karma. Relationships like this are often part of our soul contracts meant to teach, stretch, and evolve us. And from a Buddhist lens, fear isn't an enemy. It's just a visitor. You can invite it in for tea, offer it a cushion, but you don't let it take up permanent residence in your heart. You acknowledge it. Then you move through it. So Sagittarius, here's what I want you to know: you are not too much. Your emotions are not too loud. Your dreams are not too big. You are not asking for too much. You're finally aligned with someone who can match the magnitude of your spirit. And that's not something to dim down for. That's something to rise up to meet. This moment isn't just about romance. It's about transformation. You're being invited into a relationship that reflects your growth, your depth, and your destiny. And yes, it might scare you. That's okay. Most worthwhile things do. But take it from someone who has spent decades mapping hearts and decoding soul signatures: this isn't ordinary love. This is soul-aligned. This is karmic evolution. This is the kind of connection that doesn't just hold space for who you are but inspires you to become who you were always meant to be. So breathe, Sag. Say yes. Let it unfold. The stars aren't just watching, they're cheering you on. And this time, love isn't just knocking. It's ready to come in and stay. Alright, Sagittarius, let's lean in and take a deep breath, because what's coming next in this connection isn't just a minor plot twist. It's a full-blown chapter shift in your love story. The kind that deserves its own soundtrack, maybe even a soft focus montage of you two laughing under the moonlight, holding hands like the main characters in a slow-burn romance novel. This isn't just romance for romance's sake, it's a real opportunity for mutual healing, transformation, and yes, something that actually lasts beyond the butterflies. We're talking soulmate-level energy here. And trust me, I don't toss that word around like confetti at a wedding. This is the Two of Cups meets the Star kind of alignment, a rare fusion of emotional harmony and spiritual hope. It's the kind of love that makes you believe the universe paused all the chaos just long enough for your souls to collide. There's healing here, not the kind where one person plays savior while the other plays catch up, but the beautiful, sometimes messy kind of healing where both of you grow side by side. There's laughter. There's learning. And for some of you, there are real conversations about children, family, or what forever could actually look like. And look, even if you've never pictured yourself as the parenting type, don't be surprised if you start imagining yourself pushing a stroller, or at the very least, finally keeping a succulent alive for more than 3 weeks. And then comes the turning point, the moment where the past finally loosens its grip. Old wounds, unnecessary drama, lingering doubts, even meddling third parties, they're being cleared out like last year's emotional clutter. It's not a tragic goodbye. It's a sigh of relief. What takes its place is vision, direction, strength, and yes, actual commitment. Not the vague, flaky kind that disappears at the first sign of adult responsibility, but the kind that says, "Let's build this together." You might even find yourselves talking color palettes for your future home, syncing calendars, or planning weekly grocery runs. Because nothing says we're doing this like arguing over almond milk at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. And then bam comes the real moment of arrival. The Six of Wands energy is loud and clear. This is the energy of being seen, chosen, celebrated. It's that moment when someone looks at you and says, "You're it." And I'm not hiding that from anyone. And Sag, let's be honest, you love hard, but you also need to feel appreciated. Not out of ego, but because your soul burns so brightly, it deserves to be recognized. You've been the light in so many rooms where no one clapped. Now, you're finally being applauded, not just for what you give, but for who you are. This person isn't just meeting you emotionally, they're showing up on every level. They're making space for your fire, not shrinking from it. They're showing up in your world not as a guest, but as a partner. You've gone from maybe someday to this is happening, and you're doing it without compromising your wild, brilliant, Sagittarian soul. So what's next? Forward motion. Deepened trust. Co-creation. You're stepping into a space where the connection doesn't just survive the chaos, it dances in it. And the best part? You don't have to pretend to be less than who you are. You don't have to hold back. You get to love fully, freely, and with the full force of your truth. This, Sagittarius, is what it looks like when love meets destiny, and destiny doesn't blink. Alright, my sweet single Sagittarians, let's get into it. I know, talking about love when you've been through the emotional equivalent of a house fire might make you want to roll your eyes so hard they hit the back of your birth chart. But hear me out. Because what's coming your way isn't just another flaky situationship or late-night WYD text from someone who couldn't commit to a weekend plan, let alone a relationship. No, this is something different. Something worth waiting for. First off, I want to acknowledge where some of you are right now. You've been through it. And by it, I mean the kind of heartbreak that doesn't just bruise your heart, it questions your faith in the entire love department. Whether it was a messy breakup, a ghosting situation that still haunts you, or the slow burn of unreciprocated affection, you've been carrying the weight. But the beautiful thing? You didn't let it break you. You've been healing through therapy, long walks with your shadow self, tea rituals, tears, and maybe a few angry karaoke sessions. And as someone who's studied astrology and psychology for decades, let me tell you, that inner work? It's sacred. It's your initiation into a deeper kind of love. And just when you start to feel like maybe you're destined to be the cool, independent lone wolf forever, enter a new energy. This one's different. They don't crash into your world with fireworks and grand declarations. They arrive like a soft breeze through an open window. A friend, at first. Casual, maybe even easy to overlook if you're too busy scanning for red flags with binoculars. But underneath that chill exterior, a heart that's quietly brave, ready to love, not overwhelm, not possess, but hold space. I know some of you are skeptical. And honestly, good. A little discernment never hurt anyone. But don't let past disappointments keep you from recognizing real love when it finally knocks with actual effort and consistency. This person? They show up. They're thoughtful. They remember the little things. And yes, they're emotionally mature. I promise they do exist. They're just not usually on dating apps after 10 p.m. Who are they? Most likely someone spiritually awake. A healer, a teacher, someone who works with children or helps others for a living. They've got that calm, grounded vibe, like they've weathered their own storms and came out the other side softer, not colder. They might be into meditation, yoga, or just genuinely listening when you speak. Revolutionary, I know. And their energy? Romantic, a little shy, refreshingly real. No big performance. No fast forwarding through the connection. They move slow because they respect your heart. And Sag, that's divine timing. That's love not showing up on your demand but on your soul's schedule. So if you've been wondering whether love will ever find you again, I'm here to tell you, it's not just finding you. It's learning your rhythm. And this time, it's going to feel like home. And here we are, Sagittarius, at the final stretch of your reading, But make no mistake, this isn't the end. It's the beginning of a whole new chapter, and dare I say, a more aligned, more awakened, and more joyfully rebellious version of you is emerging. You're no longer walking in circles, you're walking in purpose. Whether you've been dreaming of launching a soulful business, creating something meaningful that involves children, or simply answering that quiet inner voice nudging you toward a new direction, trust it. You're not imagining things. You're being divinely guided, even when the path feels foggy and the GPS is silent. This final insight isn't subtle, it's a mic drop from the cosmos. Your romantic life isn't just getting better. It's undergoing a full-on spiritual makeover. You've outgrown the days of settling for crumbs and calling it love. You've evolved past almosts and maybes. You've stepped into your chosen one era, and not just in love, but in how you show up in every part of your life. You're becoming the main character in your own story, no longer waiting to be picked, saved, or validated. The universe? It's already picked you. And it's knocking on your heart, your soul, your front door and asking, are you ready to say yes? Yes to love. Yes to joy. Yes to the version of yourself that actually believes she deserves both. So Sag, here's your permission slip, no, your invitation to enjoy life. Let yourself laugh too loud, flirt a little, eat dessert first, take the risk, and lean into what makes your spirit feel alive. You've done the work. You've earned this next season of receiving. And if this reading spoke to your fire, your truth, your heart, then don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot so we can keep this cosmic conversation going. The stars have more to say, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Your destiny isn't waiting. It's unfolding. Let's walk it together.